welcome to another Mish Mash Monday. My name's Dawn, I'm the Reclusive Crafter, and first thing I want to do this morning is to just give you an update on the journal cards that I started working on and the tag. I have finished embellishing them, so I just thought I'd share them with you. That's the one tag that I've done so far, so that's that one. And then there was this journal card that I did with the lady on. I just put a little embellishment there in the corner, and that was the little bow that you've already seen me put on if you've seen the previous video. And it's just been backed with some avocado dyed paper. And then I've done this one. That's a little envelope, and I've just put a few little flower embellishments in there with a little sign inside the envelope and a little butterfly to finish that off. And then this one, again, that's just a paper envelope picture, but it looks like an envelope with a little label and a little sequin heart. Hopefully you can see that shining away there. And then this one I'm quite pleased with. This one, the bow I'd already put on, but I put a couple of labels on, and I made some little wax seals, and they were, well, to do it the way I've done it was a little bit fiddly, but what you actually do, if I show you on here, you melt some wax on there first to get it into the actual design and scrape it off so it's flat, and then you put your wax onto the paper, pop your thing down, your wax seal down, and then when you lift it off, it leaves the wax impression that was in here on the actual wax on the paper. A little bit fiddly, but I think it was worth it actually. I really like that. I think that's really pretty. And then the final journal card that I was working on was this one, and again I've just used a little sequin heart but a different colour on that one. Another little envelope with a couple of little bits that come out of there, just a couple of little tickets with flowers on, and a little pink postcard in the back there. So those are the journal cards that I was working on the other day, that I said that I'd give you an update on. So they're all ready now to go into the journal, so I will be doing that later. What I am doing today, with it being Mish Mash Monday, I thought I'd do something a little bit different. We've all got things like this in our stashes somewhere, I'm sure, and what I like to do with these little bits is to make up some let me see if I've got one that I can show you that I've made previously. I literally use little scraps of material or lace or ribbon and layer them, and you can layer them with whatever you want to. This is a little envelope here which I've layered over the top, and then I've put a little ball pin through them and added a little bow. I did also put a little bead embellishment, but if you haven't got bead embellishments or envelopes, you can just do them as envelope dangles, and then those just dangle off of tags or journal cards or whatever you want them to dangle off on your embellishments for your journals. So they're quite pretty, so I thought I'd use up some of my bits and pieces today. I did pull out a little bit already, and like I say, they are literally just scraps, so like that little piece there, and I found that there in amongst it all, and I thought that looked rather nice on there. And then over that we've got a little bit of chiffony type ribbon there, and then I've got a little bit of crochet lace, and then the final little bit I thought I'd put over the top was that little glittery type ribbon, I guess you'd call that, I'm not sure, or edging or whatever. And I've got a set of ball pins in here along with safety pins, and you can just use whatever colours that you've got that you think will actually work with what you're doing. So For instance, with this one, and I'll do these without the envelopes or the gem embellishments, just so that you can see what they're like without. And you literally just push your pin through and do it up, and then you've got that little dangle there, and it just adds another little element, a different type of media to your journals. Like I say, you can put whatever you want to on these. You can put more envelopes on them, literally do whatever you like, but that's just a nice little, oops, got stuck to me, nice little dangle there that you can just embellish things with. I'm just going to see if I have got a little envelope that would perhaps work. I make a lot of faux envelopes up, so things like this and this, that's got a little tag in it there, so that would work quite nicely. But if you're doing these sorts of things, ideally they need to be on the smaller side rather than the larger side, for obvious reasons. Unless you're using it as a background, you could use an envelope as a background and pop a little something in it if you wanted to. That one's, oh, these actually, oh, that's right, I made these some time ago. These actually slide in, so they're little faux envelopes with a little slidey bit that you can actually put a tag in there as well. So you can use that type of thing on them, which works relatively well. But like I say, it does generally need to be something slightly smaller, unless you're using it as a background to go on like that. In actual fact, I think that actually looks quite nice. I might just pop that on there. So again, you literally just pop your pin through. You can put eyelets into anything that's paper if you wanted to give it a little bit more rigidity and make it a little bit more robust. But there you go, little dangle. It literally takes seconds to do, and it just uses up your bits and pieces that would otherwise potentially end up in the bin. So I'm just going to go through and just look and see what I've got. So I've got this little piece of material here with the roses on, and I've got that one there, and I've got this, that's 3 there. I'm pretty sure I have done videos similar to this in the past. Got a little black there which would go nicely with that brown one, and I thought I saw somewhere I've got a little bit of sort of chiffony type ribbon there. I've got a little bit of blue there which would look nice on that one because that's blue. And then that one, that's a darker colour, that might look nice on there. So how are we all doing? Are we all doing well? Looks like we've finally got, well, I think today is the last day. I'm just going to cut this bit up. I think we're into the last day now of the coldish weather. I'm filming this on Saturday. So we are being told that tomorrow onwards is going to be a little bit warmer, which will be nice. Although apparently there's going to be a lot of rain, which maybe isn't quite so nice, but depends what you prefer, whether or not you prefer the cold or the rain, really. That looks quite nice on there, so I'm just going to cut that down. If you just add a little bit of different lengths to your materials as well, it can make it look a little bit better. And actually, I think that back one is probably a little bit too thick, so I'm going to just take that down a little bit, which would give me another piece to use on something else. So I'll pop that there. That might work with that at some point. And again here, I'm just going to trim this little bit down as well. now that I've made that one a little bit thinner. And there really is no rhyme or reason to this. You can literally, whatever you've got, just make use of it. There we go, a little bit of a diggly dangle there. And they do say to do things in odd numbers like 3s and 5s and things, but yeah, just do whatever floats your boat really. I must admit, I'm not particular in doing things quite as you're supposed to. I'm just going to take that off there. Might put that on there maybe. Or in actual fact, I wonder if that would work on there. That looks quite cute, doesn't it? And I quite like just the 3 of those together. I don't think, oh, hang on, I've just found a piece of this. That's pretty as well. Let me just cut that bit off. That might work nicely underneath there. Cut that about there. Okay, so that one I'm going to pop that on there, that one on there, and then the white one over the top. And then just splay them out just a little bit. But so that you can get the pin through the whole lot. And I've got a nice beigey coloured pin here that would work with that colour very nicely. And if you haven't got ball pins or coloured pins, just use ordinary safety pins, you know, whatever you've got. Or you can even sew them together and stick them to a page. So just put a little bit of tacking at the top there and then stick the top piece to your page. That works equally as well. And there we go, another little dangle there. What did I do with the other one I just made? I don't know. I think I've just covered it up. Yes, I did. There it is. So let me pop these where I'm going to find them again so they're not in a load of rubbish, because otherwise I won't have them to show you at the end. Right then, so that's those done. Okay, so that's 2 done. So you can see they're quite quick to do. They don't take a long time. I have got some of these little bows, what are these things called? They're roses. Little ribbon roses there, which I could make use of somehow. And I've also got a little bow there, which has ended up in my scrap bin for some reason. Not quite sure why. Just try and pull that down a little bit. Fiddly little things, aren't they? Okay, so we've got that as well. I could use that with something. I've got another piece of... I'm just wondering what else I can put on here. I've got something a little bit pretty, maybe, oh, getting this side up. Maybe pop that there and pop that there. How does that look? That looks quite pretty, doesn't it? And do we want a bow on that? I don't think the bow works. Maybe the ribbon will work. No, don't think that works either, to be fair. What's this here? Let's have a look at this here. Interesting little scrappy bit there. Quite like that. Just going to cut that down just a tad. And what sort of colour pin do we want in there? Let's go with... I'm going to go with one of these kind of pewtery type metally ones. Oh, can't undo it. being as though I've got various colours in this one, pop that in there and that in there. And then once you've got these all together, you can have a look and see what you've got in the way of little gems and things you'd like to pretty them up with, or whatever you want to do with them, really. But like I say, they just make quite nice little interesting dangles for your journal cards, your tags, just on the side of pages as well. Also on tabs as well. When you make your tabs, you can put some on there as well. Got a little bit of mauve there. Just wondering if I've got anything else that I can pop on this one. I have got some of this stuff. What do we think of that? That might work. Let me cut that about... where do I want to cut it? If I take it that way round... fiddly, isn't it? Pop it that way around. Yeah. So I'm going to cut that about there, I reckon. So that. So I've got the beige at the back. Then I've got a kind of a black and beige going over the top of that with a brown. And then I've got that one there. And I think that rose there, that actually works quite nicely with that one. So I'm going to try that. And I'm going to go with, that works quite nicely, doesn't it? The limey greeny colour. Let's see if we can get that through the whole caboodle without stabbing myself. There we go. Okay. Pop that in there. There we go. Tra-la. That's pretty too. That's another one done. That's, where are we now? That's 3, 4. Done 4 already. Oh, the dogs are barking. There's probably somebody at the door. And then we've got this one again. Got quite a lot of this. I used this. What did I use this for? I used this for some Christmas decoration a couple of years ago. I did an Alice in, was it last year or the year before? I can't remember. I did an Alice in Wonderland themed Christmas, and I used some of this, which was very pretty, to make some bows up. And I seem to have quite a bit of it left over, lurking around, little snippets of it here and there. Is that too samey, do we think? I think it might be, mightn't it? Bit too samey, I think, that one. Could have a little heart at the top there. Let's cut a little heart off. We'll have a little heart. Little heart at the top there looks quite cute. And I've just seen that as well. Maybe I can. What do you think? Do that and that. Not sure that's going to work terribly well. Let's have a look, see. Pop that through there, maybe. Does that work? No, it doesn't, because I didn't even get it through the material. Let's try that again. Sorry, I'm not really looking at what I'm doing because I've just seen a little piece of blue ribbon which looks very pretty, which I'm thinking of potentially making a bow out of. That piece there, that's very pretty, isn't it? I wonder if I could make a little bow. I'm rubbish at making bows. Oh, there we go. Ah, tra-la! You can tell I'm concentrating, can't you? I've gone dead quiet. There we go. A little bit of a long bit there. And I know if I pull that, it's gonna... Gosh, I am rubbish. In actual fact, I'm just going to trim that just a little bit there and just a little bit there. Oh, missed. Try and do that again. Oh, wow. Cut those really. Look at the difference in the lengths of those. My goodness. Oh, got the shakes. Let's try that one. That's better, isn't it? Goodness me. There we go. Right then. So let's try this one again then. So I've got that one, that one, that one. Do I want that on there? Maybe we'd like that way around. And then maybe that on there. Yeah. Let's see if we can make that work. Let's see if I can actually get it through the material this time, because that helps, doesn't it? There we go. Did we work it? Did we do it? Not 100% sure on this one. Oh no, that I'm not getting it far enough down, and the ribbon is fraying a little bit. So I will. You see, I'd like that to go. How can I do this? Think. That's it. That's what I want. So I'm just going to pop a little bit of Fabri-Tac on there to stop it fraying even further. So a little bit of Fabri-Tac on there. Then we had that piece, didn't we, behind there. Then we had, oh, sticky. Then we had that bit there. And then we had that bit there. Right, so, and then we put that bit on there. I don't know what's happened to that bow. It's gone a bit weird. I'll sort the bow out in just a minute. In fact, I'm going to glue the bow on there with the Fabri-Tac, because that will make my life a little bit easier. Glue the bow on there, and then I can pop the pin through there. Let's see how that works. Ha ha! Ta-ta-ta-ta-ta! And I do want to trim these down a little bit. They're ridiculously long, aren't they? I know it's a waste, but I'm not good at bows, so there we go. There, that's cute. So we got there in the end. Just cheated and used a little bit of Fabri-Tac. So that's that one done. Oh, I didn't put my little heart on. Oh, blast. I wonder if it's too late. Can I take that off of there? Might be able to. Let's pop a little bit more Fabri-Tac on there. A little bit of Fabri-Tac on there. Pop my little heart on there. And then my little bow. Does that work? That doesn't even work now, does it? I think I was replacing the bow with the heart, or the heart with the bow, wasn't I? Yeah, I think that's exactly what I was doing. Well, we'll just have to have the heart now. I don't like it though, not without the bow. Oh dear. There we go. Stop messing about. Is that even going through there? There we are. There, I've stopped messing about now. There, you get the gist though, don't you? I'll use the little heart for something else, no doubt. Oh, just made a mess now, look. Clean up in aisle 3. There we go. Okay, what else have we got in here then? Oh, there we go. That's a little bit different, isn't it? Very nice. I like that. It's a bit screwed up, but it's fine. So I like that. What's this I can spy here? Tiny, tiny thread of lace. That's very pretty. Pretty, pretty, pretty. Got that little bit there. The 2 designs too much? I don't think so. Where did my lace go? It's there. A little bit of lace. That's nice. I like that. What else have we got? Honestly, you could just do this all day long. It's just so therapeutic and it doesn't take a lot of thinking about. I'm just going to pop a little bit of Fabri-Tac just across the top there because it helps to stop things fraying. I know you can use, I see people using lighters and things to seal the ends of their tapes. I don't like doing that. I'm frightened of the whole thing going up in flames, to be honest with you. I'm a bit of a wuss. Does that work on there? Is that too... I don't know. I'll leave it there for now. I'll just have a look and see what else I've got. Oh, that's nice. I like that. Might use that instead, actually. That's nice. It's got a little bit of stuff running through it, a little bit of silver thread running through it, which I quite like. Oh, I've got a long piece of ribbon here. I don't know what that's doing in there, but that's actually quite fortuitous because that could go there and that could go on there. And I actually, yeah, I think that works quite nicely. I am going to cut, do I want to cut it? No, I don't. I'm going to cut that there. I was going to cut the pretty lacy bit and then I decided not to. What's this bit? Okay. Oh, let me put my lid on. There we go. Right then, and for this one, I think I'm just maybe going to use silver. Possibly. Or maybe a light pink would look nice as well. Right, is that going to fray? It looks like it might. Yeah, I think that will fray as soon as I put a pin through it. Oh, I could use that one. I like that. I'll use that for something else, I think. I'm just going to pop some glue on this to stop it fraying when I put the pin in. Just to give it a little bit of something. There we go. Okay, I'll pop that one on, maybe not that low, about there I reckon. I'm going to fold that over the top because it's got a spindly bit at the top. And then we said the silver ribbon, didn't we? I believe. And then a little bit of the lace over the top of that one. Nice. Let's use a little pink one. See how that works. So I've been busy over the last few days. I've been tidying up my, oh, I'm stuck to it, get off. Yeah, I've been tidying up my craft room space. I can see my floor now, which is always a bonus. I have two working areas, one for video editing and one for actual craft doings. And I've got a bookcase that actually now works as a storage unit for a lot of my bits and pieces. And when I say all I've got left to do, it's a mammoth task. I've got to, all my drawers and things with my paper and stuff in all need sorting out. But I shall do those one drawer at a time and see how we get on. So there we go, that's another one done. I like that. And I think I'll try and get one more done and then we'll call it a day, because there's only so many of these you can watch me do without getting bored to death. So, oh, I've got another piece of that one there. I've got some of this I'd like to use. And I've got some of that. That one and that one go well together, don't they? Although they do, but so does that, doesn't it? And adds a bit of colouring in there. What else have we got? What else have we got, peeps? Can you see anything? Not that you'd be able to tell me. Oh, I've got a piece of this one. Didn't I do one like that? And I did browns. So if I do that one, does that go with it? Not really. Okay. So I'll put that mauve over the top. Have we got anything else that's cut? Maybe I'll do 2 layers of mauve to give it a bit more coloration. And then a piece of that. Do we like that? I think so. I think we do. So I'm going to cut this into a ribbon shape. Is that the right way? No, that's not. I always do them the wrong way round. I go that way round with it to give me my little swallowtail. There we go. Little swallowtail. I'm going to pop those 2 bits together to give me a bit of extra coloration. I'll pop that one over the top there. And what else do we want, folks? What about another little? That's nice, like that. And I'm going to go with a little purple. I should open these before I do them, and then I wouldn't be so cack-handed, would I? Oh dear. Oh, fiddly-doo. Fiddly-dee. There we go. Right, let me pop the pins through that before I pop it on. Am I going to stick myself? Ooh. that in there, close it up. There. That's a pretty one as well, like that. And that's it. That's as easy as it is. So let me just pop all these little bits and pieces back in its little tub where I pop everything when I'm cutting things up. As you can see, it's any little scrap goes in here. And sometimes things that shouldn't be in there go in there as well. Longer bits that shouldn't be in there. Little bow. Scoop it all up. I think I will let myself throw that bit away. Okay. That and that. I will let myself throw that away. Okay. Right then, so let's just make some space so that you can see what we've done. So let me grab them out. So let me get a little bit closer for you so that you can see what we've done. So we've got, are we in shot there? I can't see. Yeah, so we've got that one there, which is very pretty. And we've got this one. Just pull the pin out a little bit more. So we've got that one. Got glue on my fingers there. And we have, that one's got a little bit of wire in the ribbon, so it's a bit sticky outy. We have got that one, which is very pretty. And we've got this one, a little bit plainer. And we've got this one with the rather larger envelope on the back of it, which is very nice. That was one of the ones that I did previously that I just showed you. And then we've got this one here with the, oh, that's missed. I'm going to pop that back on before you go so that you can have a look at that one. And we've got this one here with the browns on and a little bit of lace there. So we've got those. I'm just going to pop this one on because I obviously missed that. Pop that there, pop that there. Try and do my pinning a bit better. There we go. And that's that one done. And there we go. So that's that one done. Okay. So that's that. So just some little dangles made out of all your little bits of scrappy bits. So what have we got there? We've got 7 there in about half an hour. So that's not bad going, is it? So I hope you like them. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I'd love to have you on board. And I will see you all again for No Waste Wednesday. Take care, guys.